everyone, welcome back to another Swatch with Yoseka video. In this video, we're going to be looking at our top 5 brown inks, brown fountain pen inks from 2023. So these are the top 5 best-selling brown fountain pen inks from last year. Brown is more of a everyday kind of color, I would say, and just from taking a look at what I'm about to swatch, I think a lot of these will be actually dark. I know some of the colors that we've been swatching, a lot of them are kind of like really fun shading or shimmering ink that's maybe a little too light to be your everyday ink to write with. They swatch beautifully, but it might be like hard to see on the page, but I think these are gonna be dark enough. So let's go ahead and swatch them. I have Tomoe River white loose leaf paper and MD cream paper pad here, and I'll be using a new Herbin glass dip pen because my last one broke in the other video, as well as some Q-tips here. So going into number 1 on the list, I did want to mention some of the top like brown inks on the list were actually from the 2nd edition Sailor Urameku inks from last year. So a lot of them, I think, kind of change color depending on which paper you're using it with, from kind of like purple, green to brown. So a lot of those were on the list, on like very top of the list when I was looking for kind of like brown adjacent inks, but they are not exactly brown, so I did not bring them for this video for today. But yeah, I did want to mention them just because so many of them were on the list towards like the top of the list, but they are not here with us today. So let's go ahead and swatch some of the inks that I brought with me today. Starting with number 5 on the list is this one called Mesona Tea. Mesona Tea from Lennon Toolbar. This is a very dark, dark brown color. Yeah, it's really dark. It's almost black, but it's kind of like some browns will lean more yellow, and others will lean a little bit red and like almost like purpley, and I think this is looking more like that purpley brown color. So that was on the MD paper, and now I'm gonna swatch on the Tomoe River paper. So that is number 5 on the list, Lennon Toolbar Mesona Tea. It's a really lovely kind of dark brown, definitely suitable for like daily use at work or at school. Okay, number 4 is November Leaves from Dominant Industry, and this is a standard ink. Okay, this might be a bit of a lighter brown. Ooh, okay, this is really light actually. But you know what, actually like writing with it, I do think it is legible. Yeah, and I think if you had like a whole page filled with this ink, like it would be kind of pretty. Ooh, it's actually looking really different on this paper actually. Like the color. It's definitely cooler because of the white base. I think this would be Definitely something you want to use with like a broad nib or like a medium nib, and you will be able to see the color better. But I think it is a really pretty kind of beige color, light brown, looking a little bit more kind of like creamier, more yellow on the MD paper. Number 3 on the list, we have Coastal Village, Lennon Toolbar Coastal Village. And I know exactly why this is on the list at Yoseka, because we've kind of selected this one as a team as the dupe for our favorite color, favorite brown ink, which is sesame oil. So sesame oil was out of stock for us all of last year, I think, or like pretty much all of last year. And we just brought them back this year, and since then sesame oil has been selling like hotcakes. But in the meantime, while it was out of stock, Coastal Village, when it came out, was really holding its place. So I think that's why it was like really popular. But I mean, it is a really pretty color on its own as well. Yeah. So it's kind of like yellowy, reminding me a little bit of olive green-ish color on this paper. Coastal Village. And again, on the Tomar River paper, it's looking a little bit cooler toned. So that was number 3 on the list, Lennon Toolbar Coastal Village. Number 2, I have Sailor Ink Studio number 273. So this is Sailor Ink Studio 273. So this is going back to kind of a more reddish, like purpley brown. 273. It's got a really interesting shading going on, kind of between almost pinkish purpley brown color and like a lighter yellower brown color. It's really cool. Before I get to number 1, actually there was another color in between these two colors. So the actual number 2 on the list is J. Herbin Lee de Tay, which is a really nice brown. But we're actually all out of it, and I couldn't find our sample, so I can't swatch it for you today, which is very sad. But yeah, actual number 2 on the list is J. Herbin Lee de Tay, and I'll put a little image of the swatch on the screen here. So moving on to number 1. Number 1 is Dominant Industry Winter Wood. And I have a little sample bottle because, again, I couldn't find our bigger sample. Yeah, super dark. Kind of classic brown color. This is kind of what I would think of if you gave me the word brown. It's definitely fitting with the name being Winter Wood. I mean, I love brown. I love using browns in my journal because it's kind of like a daily color, but not black. And I think I like it better than kind of like your classic blue or blue-black. So I like using brown, and I like using dark brown like this. Like kind of coffee color because I love coffee. So this is Dominant Industry, Winter, Wood. And I think this is actually the first one that we've done where we don't have any shimmer inks on the list. I think that again is kind of because like brown is just such a daily driver for a lot of people, I think. There are like really interesting like shimmer browns out there, but interestingly enough, there's none on the list today. Okay, so there you have top 5 brown inks at Yoseka from 2023. So yeah, interesting that we don't have any shimmer inks on here. This one is a very interesting shading ink. It's looking really pink on the Tomoe River paper. I feel like I might get some comments about how this is more pink than brown, but looks brown on the bottle. There's definitely brown bits in the shading, and some lighter inks here with the Coastal Village and November Leaves. Yeah, and then another very like everyday kind of brown, dark brown on the list. I hope you guys enjoyed swatching these brown colors with me today. It looks very nice on the screen there. Yeah. Leave us comments if you have any questions about these inks. If you have other favorite brown colors that were not on the list. And we'll see you in another video. Bye!